No matter what age you are, we know it's always important to stay active, and we welcome to the program owner of Heaven's Elevated Fitness and fitness expert, Helen Vanderberg, who's one of the leaders in the industry. And you're going to keep us active at all ages. Good morning to you.
Good morning.
Okay, I'm going to introduce the team here. So we have Taryn and Allison as well, who are going to help show off some exercises for any age. But I mean, I would imagine you're an advocate of being active all the time, throughout your life.
Yeah, really, the message is to be active all your life. And if you are active all your life, your chronological age is less important than your physiological age.
Okay.
So if you're active and you started when you're young, you can still do the same things you were doing in your 20s and 30s when you get into your 40s, 50s, and 60s.
Right.
There are some general things, though, you should consider as we age, because some things change in our bodies just from the aging process.
Right, right. Okay, so what are some of those things that we need to...
When we look at the 20s and 30s, the 20s really is unlimited. Anything you do, your body's going to forgive you. You can do about everything.
You feel invincible for a reason.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But as you start to move into your 30s, your metabolic system changes, and we start to burn less calories just because, right? So it's just our exercise consumption, we need to rev it up. And so metabolic training is really important. So doing high intensity interval training can really change what you do. And Taryn's going to show exercise, which is a metabolic exercise, so a burpee exercise.
Okay.
Right, so burpee is a full body. Go ahead, Taryn. And full body exercise, high intensity, doing that in an interval way is going to boost up your calorie expenditure and keep your metabolism high.
Put a push-up in there too, atta girl.
Right? The second thing is, as we move in our 30s, late 30s, we want to get our resistance training in there. So resistance training, so she's just going to demonstrate a thruster, which is a great exercise because it's full body.
Yes.
Right, so we're squatting and we're lifting. So resistance training, definitely get it in when you start to get into your 30s, and then keep it going for the rest of your life. Okay. As we move into our late 30s, I'm going to move over here, Allison. Late 30s and 40s, keep all your metabolic training going, your resistance training, but add core strength, because our core starts to go more so, especially if you've had children.
Right.
So children, so core strength, so coming into a Russian twist. So doing some exercises, again, that involve more full body. And then the next exercise is a side plank. And side plank is what we call one of those absolute exercises for core, because it really gets into all of the spinal muscles and works spinal stability as well. Plus, this is a great pelvic floor exercise.
Okay.
So for women who, you know, again, have had children, but also just from sitting.
Yes.
Pelvic floor is really important.
Sedentary.
And
okay.
And then yoga. So starting to bring yoga into your life as you come into your 40s, good at any time of your life. But then as you move into your 50s, 60s, and beyond, weight-bearing exercises are critical.
Okay.
So,
is it ever too late to start with the weight-bearing, or, you know, because these look kind of intense. So maybe if I haven't exercised in my 20s and 30s and I'm entering into that world, can you start with the intensity?
Well, you know what, if you've not been exercising in your earlier years, and really that's when you should start your weight-bearing exercises in your 20s.
Ideally.
Build bones when you're young. But you haven't, a simple exercise like walking is going to give you weight-bearing. But then you eventually want to transition from walking, because the load from walking isn't high enough to really build bones.
Right.
You need to take it to a jog where you're getting more impact.
Okay.
Or you need to be doing things like, if you can do like a small hop squat. Right, so a small hop squat is going to give you just that little bit of impact that you need. You don't need to do it explosive like Taryn was doing, but just getting some lift or some impact into your body. The other thing is, as we age, and especially with sitting being the thing we all do now, is you need to build leg strength. And as we age, it becomes even more prevalent that women, especially women, get weak in their legs.
Okay.
And so, you know, doing your squats, and you could do, weighted squats. I like doing the ball squats, because this has got some weight to it, but some weighted squats, or using dumbbells or barbells, getting into your squats, your lunges. Your traditional leg exercises are so good for you.
The classics.
The classics are always good.
Yeah.
So legs are really important, weight-bearing activity, and then the last part of it is brain fitness. So there's tons of research now showing that we should be doing complex movement patterns as we age, not just crossword puzzles for brain fitness.
Sure.
But think choreographed dance classes, right? So the classes,
You're
like,
speaking my language, Helen.
yeah,
I love
right?
this.
Yeah. So where you've got to cross over, and you've got to move, you got to mumbo, and you got to cha-cha, and you got to keep your brain active. So the choreography classes, so your Zumba classes, your pulse classes, your high-low aerobic classes.
Like where you guys started in the 80s.
Yeah,
really.
back in the 80s. If you think of that, and think of that, you got to think and move at the same time. That's the best way to train your brain.
Oh, good. Okay, great tips. And where can people find you?
You can find us at Heaven's Fitness, and we do all kinds of classes for all ages and all kinds of interests.
Okay, so I know you got the spin, you got the yoga, you got the full meal deal there.
Yeah, so and spinning is a really good one too. It's a great cardiovascular activity, and people are loving spinning, which I love. But it's non-impact. So make sure that you add impact activity and resistance training if you love spinning.
Okay, great resource as always. Thank you for joining us. Thank you, ladies, and we're going to put the link up on our website, breakfasttelevision.ca.